back with my journey through bariatric surgery or weight loss surgery, and it is now minus 8 days until I go in for my surgery. I may have failed to give you all the information yesterday, and so I wanted to give you a little bit of extra information about the choice of doctor I made. I'm going to be going to see a Dr. Al-Kafaf at Alexandra Hospital in Cheadle, and he will be performing the surgery for me. Right. If you don't know, I've also started my blog posts on my Bundu bashing and other wheelchair adventures blog on WordPress, and I'll put a link into the description for that, so that you can look at the manuscript or the script for that I've done day to day. It's got a bit more detail in about each day and my journey so far. So you can do the video from within the blog. You can click on the link and it'll take you to this video, or you can go from here. The other way around, whichever you prefer. So let's give you a little bit more history at this point, talking about February 2024. And I will be looking down a bit to look at my notes and make sure I give you the right information. I'm still 61 years old. I'm still the same height, and weight is now 98 kilograms. This is in February. I've been on a 900 to 1200 calorie diet, healthy eating for the last few months. And I've just made some notes in there about the medication and how all of the medications that I take for various things actually also don't help with weight gain, because all of them, that's one of the side effects. So back in 2024, I did go back to the doctor to be put back on the list for bariatric surgery, and that didn't go ahead, as I said, and I am now still waiting with no news from them whatsoever, and that's one of the reasons I've gone ahead and decided to have this done privately at extremely high cost financially to the family. But if you consider the cost of the surgery and the life-saving benefits to me and the family, and in addition to that, the comorbidities that come with being obese, which I will be at much lower risk of. I'm not sure I mentioned yesterday that I'm technically diabetic. I only found that out last week, and that's one of the other things that pushed us to go ahead with this. Right, what have we got here today? So I'm going to leave that rest of that script there for you to read on the blog if you like, and give you a little overview of my day today. And the pharmacy was the first appointment of the day today at 10:40 this morning. It's the 11th of June. I had an appointment with the pharmacist at Alexandra Hospital, and that was to overview my medicines, the current medication that I take, look into what medications I'll need going forward, and which ones I can get rid of in the future. That being said, let's go through them. At the moment, to take fexofenadine. It is an allergy tablet, and I use it for two reasons. A, because I'm allergic to so much. Seriously, I'm sitting here and my eyes are so itchy. Pardon me. Don't touch your eyes, Michelle. Don't touch your eyes, Michelle. Anyway, sorry. Also, because I have such a severe seafood and fish allergy, I've had anaphylactic shock before, and they hope that by being on a full-time course of a very powerful antihistamine, It'll just possibly reduce the risk of going into anaphylaxis or make it less severe, and that's why I stay on it permanently. That is one of the items that I will have to crush when I'm in the first 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, because fexofenadine doesn't come in liquid form. And for that reason, she said to me, put it into apple juice, or once you're going on to the pureed food stage, you can put it into apple puree. So I'll be doing that with fexofenadine. Levothyroxine I take for my thyroid. It just keeps my thyroid kind of balanced in the middle so it doesn't go too high or too low. So it's kind of like a maintenance dose, really. I can get that from my pharmacy in liquid form. So they're going to prescribe that for me and send that at the end of the week. The next thing I take is duloxetine. It is used for nerve pain, and I take 60 milligrams of that a day. Now, sadly, it doesn't come in a liquid form, although it says so on the doctor's medical medicine screen, but apparently the pharmacist said it's so uncommon to find it that it's not worth trying, and that I can just open up the capsule and pour that into an apple juice as well, and that'll be fine for then. But do not try and eat or drink the shell, because that would be too much, and I can't do that for the first few weeks on the liquid diet. Now we move on to new medications, and I am going to hash up these names. I apologize now, but all of the details are written down in my blog, and you can find the proper spelling of those. Every doctor, every surgeon, they probably provide different medications, but our surgery team, this is what they provide. So new medications, I will have to have hydroxycobalamin. Yeah, it's a B12 injection. I'll be having that every 3 months for the rest of my life, probably, but I've got to find that out. And that's one of the reasons you have blood tests ongoing, is to make sure these levels in your blood are okay. I then will have Forceval soluble. It's a multivitamin, and it includes vitamin D. I take vitamin D every day, and so I will be able to stop the vitamin D tablets because it's in the multivitamin Forceval that I will be taking in future. And for the first month, I will have it as a soluble, and then I can move on to a tablet later on. Then I will be taking ferrous fumarate iron tablets, and that is started 4 weeks post surgery only. So don't take that for the first 4 weeks. I don't have to worry about those being crushed. Cholecalciferol. It's calcium, peeps. It's chalk. Calcium tablets have to also be started in and around week 4, and those are also important to take every day for the rest of my life. Vitamins as well. I'm not sure I mentioned that, but the multivitamins is one of those that you have to take forever. And that's because of the tiny amount of food that you can eat. It's not necessarily going to provide your body with all the nutrients that they need in such a tiny package, really. And that's what we do. Then, on discharge from the hospital, I'll also be provided with anticoagulant injection. Scarily, she said, no. I thought she said, I take it home with me. But that can't be right, surely. I'll find out and I'll let you know. And that is to help with not getting blood clots and things like that. So yes, that's one of them. I will also go home with liquid omeprazole. That is a brain's dead. Anyway, it stops. When I took it years previously, it was to help with heartburn and reflux. It's an antacid type thing. And it will be given to me in liquid form first and then back onto tablets later on. And that is one of the things I won't have to take forever. Then I also go home with paracetamol and codeine, also in liquid form, for pain relief. Those, I believe, are all of the things I have to do. She mentioned that going into hospital, I need to take all my existing medication with me, but it needs to be in its original packaging because they need to make sure that it's got my name on the box and the pharmacy that dispensed the tablets. So that's something I've put on my hospital bag list. Okay, that was the morning appointment. Then the afternoon appointment was with the dietitian from Alexandra Hospital as well. What a lovely lady as well. Both of them were lovely, but she was especially nice. She sent me an email with a diet plan and some other information about foods that I could have in the various phases, and she talked and walked me through the different phases. I'm not going to go into too much detail right now because maybe that was something we can do in a blog post and a vlog all of its own, because it's such a big thing as part of your bariatric surgery. And what did I have here? Yeah, right. So post-surgery, she tells me I'll be seen by a physiotherapist, and that's to get you out of bed as quickly as possible and walking. Not in my case walking, pushing maybe. I don't know, maybe a few steps. We'll see. Then the nurses will be there to look after you, and you'll be given water to sip. And you will also be given consomme, which is a thin broth without any pieces in it, fairly transparent. And that's the first day as well. And what else did she say? Just a few highlights. Week 1 is your liquid phase. That's all about thin, clear liquids, or as clear as possible. She was talking about clear soups, milky coffee, shakes, Bovril with hot water, which actually I quite like. I know it's weird, but it sort of reminds me of noodles and the sachets you put in, like Chinese noodles. Who knows? You can have ice lollies, which is great because if the weather's hot, that's going to help you A, cool down, and B, get your intake of water. And you have to have, your goal is to have 2 liters of water a day. And because you can only sip water, that's going to be an interesting challenge, sipping water throughout the day to make sure you get at least 1.5 liters, but your goal is 2 liters of water. Then, of course, you've got soups and coffees and teas, and all of that is fine, but not hot. If you have something too hot, there's possibility you'll burn your stomach, and that's not good when you've just had surgery. No chia seeds. I use chia seeds to make sure. Okay, protein, which is essential, is quite high on when you've had bariatric surgery, weight loss surgery. The problem with a lot of protein is that it gives you constipation. And for that, you need to take something to counter that. One of the things I take is chia seeds, but because they're tiny, even though they're tiny, I'm not allowed to take them for the first 2 weeks. So they will give me something if I need it during that period of time. Right, the reason for the higher protein is because it builds muscle. And as you start to lose weight, you want to make sure your body is building muscle mass. And that's the reason. All your systems in your body need protein. and a large portion of your diet is going to always be protein-based from now on, which is why I've started drinking a lot of protein shakes, because I found I wasn't getting the required daily amount of protein, which was 100, what was it, 100 grams or something like that per day. I was only reaching less than 50. So I've started having 2 protein shakes a day, or 1 shake and a scoop of protein sprinkled over my food, or in the smoothie or dessert I have, whatever that is that I have. And I'm not talking about shop-bought ones, I'm talking about homemade ones. I've been starting to develop all these different interesting shakes. So today's one was coffee, protein, powder, milk, and some zero sugar syrup. What was it? It was a toffee or caramel flavor. Not the best, because I don't like the taste of sweeteners, but I think if I halve the amount of sweetener I put into it, then it might taste better. But actually it wasn't bad. I managed it really well. So that's the one thing. Aim for 2 glasses of water, 2 liters of water, and no water or drinks with meals. Absolutely no. You need to drink half an hour before or half an hour after your meal. You do not want to fill yourself up on water. That's the big thing. So that was the advice on that. And then, of course, phase 2 is all about still liquid diet, but now you want to get a slightly thicker texture of liquid. So example would be milk in phase 1. Phase 2 could be yogurt, or slightly thinned down yogurt if it's very thick, like a Greek yogurt. That's the sort of thing that you're aiming for. I'm not going to go into much else about that. Week 4, you start on vitamins. Okay, and then, week 3 and 4, then you're starting to get a bit of texture. And she explained it like a baked potato. You eat the inside of the baked potato, but not the skin. Scrambled eggs, omelets, anything really soft, but that's got a bit of texture to it. So you're basically building up your stomach's ability to handle full foods again. And then, of course, week 5 and 6, you can start to add soft pieces of food into your diet as well. So that was all that she talked about. And I've been doing a lot of work this week on planning food. So in the freezer, I've got clear consommes. I have got more pureed soups in little sachets, some in little ice cube containers, various places. But they're there frozen for when I need them each day. And the reason I've made them into small ice cube sizes is because that's apparently about all you'll manage at first, is 1 ice cube size bit of soup, and 2 maybe. So I can always add another couple into that. I can add my protein powders and that to that as well. So that was my appointments for today. It felt like a busy day because I'm not only doing the appointments, I'm planning for what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. I'm planning food, and we're also moving house. We're packing the house. There's a huge amount going on, and I am busy. I'm really busy. But yeah, each day we're getting a little bit closer. So those were the things that happened today. So tomorrow I'll think about what topic to cover. And just a reminder, this is available on my blog as well. The link will be in the description, and you can also follow it from the blog, which has the video embedded in it as well. Any questions? Please feel free to ask. and I will do my best to answer from what I know already. And if not, I will try and find the answer for you if it's not too complicated. I think that's all for today. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and thank you for joining me, and let's chat again tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Bye.